A recent report by eMarketer described how a CMO is doing more with less, but also talking about the evolving role of the Chief Marketing Officer. And I stumbled upon this article because I'm a subscriber to eMarketer, and it was a report that I found intriguing to me. It got me thinking about, because if you haven't, I guess, heard any of my content or things that I've been putting out the past couple of years, one big thing goal-wise for me over the next several years is to build out a roadmap to how I can build into a chief marketing officer role or a senior marketing leadership role at the executive level in a B2B manufacturing or technology company. That's just a goal that I've set out for myself when going through the Chief Marketing Institute years ago, led by Bill Colazar. So tip of the hat to Bill and that team and that year-long executive development program. Highly recommend it for any high-level marketer out there that wants to pursue marketing at that level. But getting back to the report, I stumbled upon it, and I knew that the Chief Marketing Officer tenure was hovering around 4 years, about 48 months, and it has hit a 10-year low. Currently, right now, a Chief Marketing Officer tenure is ranging about from 36 to 40 months on average. So think about it. It's a little over 3.5 years, right at, I went to public school, so almost 3.5 years. That is your tenure as a Chief Marketing Officer. And it details a little bit of why we're seeing that. I mean, COVID-19 and the health crisis contributed to that a little bit. But here's a few things that the report detailed. I just want to highlight a few of these things. CMOs, Chief Marketing Officers, are being asked to do more with less. And the breadth of responsibilities and maybe getting into the weeds is being asked of more, which takes up your time, which takes up a little bit of your focus, but that's what's being asked. As the CMO role continues to expand, it grows increasingly difficult for an individual to be an expert at all the aspects of the job. In the report, to ensure success of a Chief Marketing Officer must do these three things. And I'd love to hear your comments to see if it's true for you, if it's false, or if you're doing something totally different, you're seeing smashing success. I'd love to see that in the comments below. Number one, we got to tie ourselves to the strategy of the business. I think with any smart marketer, you really have to understand what is our objectives, what is our overall strategy for the business, and then we can kind of build around a marketing strategy according to the business needs. And then again, that flows our objectives and tactics from there. And number two, focus on leadership style and determining a factor of success. So I think that's getting to the table with your executive team and laying the plan, laying your strategy out on the table and saying, hey, this is what we're going to focus on in 2022 and beyond. Do you agree on that? Yes or no? We can tweak that going forward. Again, it's just getting that agreement from leadership and understanding what does success look like as the Chief Marketing Officer or the marketing leader. And lastly, number three, this report points out, understand CMO archetypes to match with the right role. And eMarketer identified 5 different archetypes of the CMO. It's a strategy focused, revenue focused, brand focused, experience focused, and then engagement focused. And you can kind of dive into the definition of all those things, but curious, what is your CMO archetype, or what is your preferred personality type when it comes to that Chief Marketing Officer archetype? And you can see the full report that's listed in the comments below, but really the evolving role of the CMO. It's one of those roles that, in my opinion, is probably hard to define because of the north, south, east, west relationships, not only directing, your efforts to the CEO and managing up that way and managing that relationship accordingly, but also that east-west relationship with the other executive team leaders, but also that south relationship with your direct reports and also the team that you'll be managing. But also marketing, I think, plays a unique role, and it touches all aspects of the business. So I mean, you could say north, south, east, west, but really it's like this 360 touch of the business that marketing really contributes to. Again, I'd love to just see what is is it true? Do you see as far as a Chief Marketing Officer that tenure being ranged around an average of 40 months right now? Is that true for you, or you are a Chief Marketing Officer for 10 plus years? With this article, it got me thinking about just the excitement. It almost refreshed a little bit of what I kind of envisioned myself as a marketing leader going forward in the future. And one event that took place last week was I had an opportunity as a manager to award a promotion to one of my team members, and Jeannie Harrison is now promoted to a senior marketing specialist. She's been an incredible person on our team, highly valued, brings a ton of experience to our team. Excited to do that. And one thing I think it just falls on the manager is just being able to put a plan out there and put a development plan to action. And one thing that started with this time last year, so about 12 plus months ago, Jeannie and myself sat down together and like, what does that look like? Put some actual just things, stepping stones right in front of the other. And I think that does a couple of things. So I think it gives an incentive to the associate to then put in that personal development time, but also builds just bench strength on your team, but also signals to other team members like there's opportunity in front of me if I want to go get it. And as a marketing leader, I think that's kind of what we have to do is just continue to develop the team we have, but not only attracting just A players to the team, but again, developing the team we have right now, and that just makes highly performing, high trusting teams. And I think that's something that talks a little bit about in this report, again, getting back to that strategy, but also realizing that your other responsibility as a leader is just developing your team going forward. So again, just as a side note, just got me super refreshed and just like boom, pumped this week. So congrats, Jeannie, on your promotion. I look forward to many awesome years ahead. Again, thanks for taking time to watch this video. One thing that I am working on right now is just future content ideas. And one big thing, I know we're still living in a little bit of a hybrid workplace, or you're fully remote or you're fully in office, but one big thing that we'll probably won't get away from anytime soon is webinars. It is interfacing through video conferencing, through Teams, Zoom, whatever that looks like, but looking good on a web conference camera, for example. And that's one thing video I'm going to try to put together. There was a podcast that I got to be a part of with the Click.io podcast with my good friend Dave Carr. And one thing that I kind of showcased on a little bit of that is talking about video marketing and how I was able to show up a little bit more, a little bit on the polished edge, if you will, by just one simple tool that changed the way you can interact on video web conferencing. So I'll be able to be on the lookout for that piece of content that's coming shortly, and I'll put a full how to do it, how to set it up, what equipment you need, and really it's just one unique tool, and then I'll be able to kind of drop that in the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that. I'd love to hear in the comments, but also just trying to see a little bit of what your CMO archetype looks like. So go ahead and drop that in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video. Here we go. Boom. Okay, I think we're done here. Here we go. Lights off.